Star Wars was all about the future, but the music behind that famous scene you just saw, the tune at the very end, it goes back to the very beginning of musical time. It's the Dies Irae, the medieval chant for the dead. It's at least 1,300 years old, probably more. A musical depiction of the day of wrath, when all souls will be judged for their time on earth. In Western musical terms, it is truly the song of death. The Dies Irae turns up here and there through music history. But in the 19th century, after the Industrial Revolution drove thousands into the cold and grime of European cities, and pollution blacked out the sun, the Song of Death suddenly sprung to life and started turning up all over the place, like in Hector Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique. The Dies Irae also appears in almost everything written by the great Russian romantic Sergei Rachmaninoff. Rachmaninoff wrote that, his symphonic dances, in 1940, just before his own death. He was living, oddly enough, at the time in Beverly Hills, along with flocks of other European composers who'd escaped the war and the death camps to come to America. One of those was Dmitri Tiomkin, who started as a classical pianist, but ended up as a film score composer. He wrote the music behind Frank Capra's 1942 classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
Help me, Clarence!
You wouldn't think that a family favorite feel-good movie like that would find a place for the Song of Death, but there it is, just as it is in Howard Shore's music to The Lord of the Rings. Even Disney doesn't get a pass on this one, because the Dies Irae turns up, believe it or not, in The Lion King.
Kill him.
The Dies Irae is also part of what made Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells the greatest selling instrumental recording in history, and the perfect choice for the opening music to the 1973 horror classic, The Exorcist. So you might be wondering who gets the composer credit for this little tune that's done so well. Church history says that Pope Gregory the Great wrote down the Dies Irae in the 6th century as it was dictated to him by a white dove carrying the musical voice of God himself. So, who wrote the Song of Death? That's right, God did. Now, you can believe that or not, but considering this little tune has so far survived 40 human generations and is only now just beginning to show its true power and momentum, it's worth remembering that no matter who wrote it, we all have to sing it eventually.
make a video like this. You know where it comes from? It comes from the idea. And one of the ideas that came up was to do...